Hey y'all, welcome back. I got another turkey hunting story. So if you like the last turkey hunting story, you're probably going to like this one because it gets real primitive. It's crazy. I wasn't even turkey hunting, but it was turkey season, bow turkey season. So let's go. Alright, thanks for sticking around. Here we go. So here's the deal. I was actually going to hang a tree stand for deer season. It's bow season. Archery bow season. And I was going to stay at my mom's for the weekend. I think it might have been 4 days. I don't know. It was during bow season. I had time off, and so I was going to go hang a tree stand, a climbing stand on a tree, so next morning I could go out there and just, go deer hunting. Didn't have to carry my stand with me, kind of a deal, you know what I mean? So I already had a place scouted out. It was this old pond. It was a little bitty pond, and it was all dried up, been dried up for years. But the deer had made a trail going right around that thing, down through this bottom and up the other side. Real good spot to bow hunt. There's a pretty nice white oak that was growing on the bank of that pond, so it was even higher. I mean, it was just a really good spot. So I was going there to hang my climber on the bottom, so I could climb it in the morning. And I get about halfway there, and I'm not really paying attention, y'all, because, I was just going to go out there, set it up, get back. It was late in the afternoon. I wasn't trying to hunt, but I did have my bow with me because if I seen a deer, I was going to shoot it. And I wasn't really expecting what happened. So, so I'm just walking along in the woods, kicking leaves and making noise, not really paying attention. And all of a sudden, big old turkey goes flying up in front of me. And it was on the ground, but it was laying down because I didn't see it at all. I'd have seen it up walking around. It was laying down. And when it took off the ground and started flying, one leg was dangling like this, right? So I knew something was wrong with it. It had a broken leg. It was a dangler. Anyways, this thing takes off flying. I see its leg flopping, and I watch it glide and land down in that creek bottom. There's an old creek that run through there, and it had a bunch of big rocks that were kind of piled up on one side of it. And they were pretty big, like, big rocks, and they're stacked up. I don't know if bulldozer did it or what, but it didn't look natural. But anyways, it was a big stack of boulders, or I don't know if big rocks. So it lands up in these big rocks. It flies right up in there and lands. I'm like, all right, I see where you're at. Well, I'm pretty close to where I'm going to hang my stand. So I go ahead and walk over to the pond bank, and it had flew past that pond bank down the creek. So the whole time I'm hanging my stand, I can watch this thing. I can see it. It's not flying away. It's just, it thinks it's hidden. And honestly, it was hidden pretty good. If you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't have seen it. It blended right in. So I'm pretty excited. I get my tree stand hooked up to the tree, and I grab my bow, and I start stalking up to this turkey because I don't want to spook it out of there, because I don't want to end up chasing this thing all over the place. I'm thinking I'll just sneak up to it, try to get, within maybe 30, 20 yards, but 30's good enough. I ended up getting way closer on accident. Because, when you get like caught up in it, in the hunt, and I'm all crouched down and I'm sneaking up on this thing, and I just started like getting really primitive feeling, You know what I mean? I started feeling like caveman. Right? So I'm thinking, man, I gotta get close. Which I had a diamond compound, and I didn't have to get close. This was a really good bow. It was dialed in. I'm talking about splitting arrows. And I didn't even, I don't know, I just got caught up in the moment, right? So I ended up getting like almost 10 yards from this thing. I'm right up on it. So I draw my bow back. Phew, I send an arrow. It lands right underneath this turkey. Right underneath it. I'm like, oh, but this turkey don't move. I can see my arrow sticking out, right? And it looks like the turkey's perched on it. It's not personal. But that first arrow, which I didn't know yet, had broke its other leg. That turkey didn't move. And so I knock another arrow. And I only have 5 arrows. And I have to have arrows to bow hunt with deer. And these are the only arrows I brought. Okay. So I knock another arrow and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm close. I need to, aim a little low, but just a little. And then I should be able to hit it just right. And so I draw back and I adjust my aim a little bit and I shoot and I hit right above it. So now I'm like, oh man. And this turkey does not move, right? And this arrow didn't even touch it. I mean, it's sticking in the rocks right above it. And I know it's runt. I know that arrow's runt. There's no way it's going to be good. So now I'm thinking, I only got 4 arrows, and that's if the one underneath it's okay. So technically I only got 3 arrows left. Man, if I shoot again, I really need to make it count. And so I knock another arrow and I draw back. And as soon as I draw back, this thing takes off. And I can see both the legs. Right? And it's just wing power. That's all it has. It's just pushing itself out of them rocks, taking off. And it doesn't fly right away. It's pushing itself out of the rocks with its wings. And then finally, because it's elevated, it kind of glides out of the rocks, down the creek bottom, and it glides a little ways down the creek bottom and lands. Well, I release my arrow, pull it out, stick it back in the quiver. I set my bow down, and I just take off running after this thing. I have like this funnel vision on this turkey. It's like all I could see was that turkey. That's all I could see. So I set my bow down and I turn. Kick my tripod. I turn and I take off running. And I didn't take maybe 4 steps. Yeah, probably 4 steps. And I ran straight into a vine that was only about, nickel-sized vine. And that thing caught me across the chest. And it pulled against me a little bit. And I just yanked through it, right? And just pulled right through the vine. And I just kept running. And I seen this X vine. And it's a little bit bigger vine, right? And I'm thinking I can just bust right through that one too. And I run into this vine. And I tug, and man, this vine stretches. And then, like a rubber band, boom! It slingshots me back through the woods. I don't know, not back through the woods, but it was probably 7-8 feet. I went back and hit the ground. I was like, dang. So I jump up and I can still see the turkey. And I'm locked onto this turkey, but now I know the vine's there. So I take off running again, and I'm going to cut around this vine, right? And I'm just watching this turkey. And I get around the vine, and I don't know, probably take another 2 or 3 steps, and then wham! I ran into a tree that was about, I don't know, that big. I ran smack into that tree. Wham! I mean, it dropped me. You know what I mean? I said, ugh. I hit the ground. I was like, gosh dang. I'm rubbing my face. I jumped back up. It didn't knock me out, but it made me a little tweet. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh. So I jumped up, and the turkey's still there, but it's like trying to scoot with its wings. It can't get off the ground. It can't fly, but it's like trying to, it's being a penguin. It went from a turkey to a penguin. So now it's a huge penguin, and I'm taking off running after it, and it's trying to get away. And the closer I get, the faster it goes, right? It's getting pretty good at it. I'm watching evolution right in front of my face. This thing's about to literally turn into a penguin and get away. So I'm running faster. Finally, I just run and I jump. Ugh. And when I land, I caught its tail feathers. I mean, it was that close. I can't believe I was that far behind it, or that turkey was making that much distance by the time my feet left the ground. Because when I jumped, I thought this thing was going to be right underneath me. And by the time I landed, I was grabbing its tail feathers. So I get a hold of it, and I drag this thing up underneath me. So now I'm laying on top of a live turkey. It looks like one of its wings are broke now. So it's got 2 broken legs and a broken wing. And I got this turkey, and this is a tom turkey too, by the way, y'all. It was a tom. So I grabbed this turkey by the head, and I'm thinking, I'll just grab a rock or a stick or whatever, to dispatch it. And I'm feeling around, I'm looking around, and there's nothing. I can't reach a rock or a stick. It was the clearest piece of land in the state of Missouri I'd ever been on. There wasn't nothing. There was nothing I could reach from where I was laying, which is just, it doesn't even make sense in this state. There's rocks everywhere. Couldn't reach nothing. So I'm like, dang. Now, if you watched my last story, you guys know that I know how to wring its neck, but I was so, jacked up really, and not even thinking about, standing up and letting this thing whoop up on me. Because, I already went through that once. Wasn't going to let that happen again. So I'm looking around, I can't find nothing. So I take this turkey, and I turn its head, its beak, towards the ground. And I shove its beak down to the ground, and I pounded that thing in the back of the head about 3 times. And that's how I killed a turkey during bow season, hanging a tree stand. I never even got a good shot on it with my bow. But I had 3 arrows, did not get a deer that weekend, but we ate turkey, and when I got home, told everybody the story. They couldn't believe it until they looked at it and there was no arrow shot through it. Yep, that happened. But you know what? Even though I broke 2 arrows, I still ended up getting the turkey. And everyone still got to eat turkey. No matter what, if something's bugging you, don't give up. Call a friend, call a family member, call 988. Pray, do whatever it takes to get help, okay? Even if that turkey's gonna whoop up on you a little bit, don't sweat it. Squatch it. Keep on keeping on. Peace.